they look pretty good. I am impressed. I decided to go for a hike and it's really windy right now. There's gonna be a storm coming here soon. So I felt this was a good opportunity to do a comparison between the Sony Xperia PRO-I and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I just want to get straight to the comparisons. What I'm going to do is basically just compare their camera systems for this video. I'm going to take some videos, I'm going to take some pictures, and use their ultra wide, wide, and telephoto lenses. I will also do a stabilization test between the both of them. So enough of this. Let's get this comparison going. For this video, everything will be done using both devices auto mode. Now, I know some of you did ask me to use manual mode on the iPhone. I didn't know that the Pro versions or any of the iPhones don't come with manual mode. So I'm working on looking for an app that allows it for the iPhone. So let's save the manual mode for another video. All right, for this portion of the video, let's go ahead and check out their ultra wide cameras. I know for the Xperia PRO-I it has a 16mm ultra wide. I'm not too sure about the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but we'll put it here later. All right, now I'm gonna switch over to the main cameras for both devices. So I will do some videos and pictures for each one. Let's see if I can go through it without falling into the water. So a lot of you know that I'm not an iPhone user. I think the last time I used an Apple product was probably about 5 years ago. It was an iPad. So I don't have a lot of experience with iPhones. But I'm going to tell you right now, it is very easy to do pictures or videos. It's kind of mindless. But looking at the videos and pictures on the display here, they look pretty good. I am impressed. But will it convince me to switch over to an iPhone? Not yet. When I'm recording here on the iPhone, I can make out everything very well, not like the Xperia PRO-I. On the Xperia PRO-I, these trees here were very dark. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the telephoto lenses for both devices. Where I am hiking now, it's not a lot of interesting things to take pics and vids of, but I'll try my best. Yeah, I can see here on the Sony Xperia PRO-I for the zoom, it's very mushy and smooth compared to the iPhone. Well, I can really see the goats on the iPhone clearly, not like the Xperia PRO-I. They just look like mushy blobs walking around. Alright, this is the Sony Xperia PRO-I. It does look a little bit duller and darker compared to the iPhone. Now remember, this is a 2x zoom. The iPhone has a 3x zoom, so it's not going to be as close. I just realized that I can use my face for the zoom portion of this video. My brain doesn't work sometimes. You can see how windy it is. I'm trying to take a picture of this here. And since this is on auto mode, I can't control the shutter speed. Of course, I can increase the shutter speed to minimize the blurring. But let's see how the auto mode for both these devices captures a subject in windy conditions. Alright, for this portion of the video, let's do a stabilization test for both devices. I'm going to walk, which I'm doing right now, do a jog, and then I'm going to try to run, but it might be a bit unsafe. So here it is walking. And let me do a jog. I don't think I can run through here, and I will try to run. All right. Okay, let's see how bad that came out. I'll go ahead and switch over to the iPhone. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the test with the iPhone. Just I'll walk right now. I heard the stabilization system on iPhone is really good. We'll see. Jog. And let me try to get to a safe spot, and I'll try to run without breaking my legs. Okay. Woo! Gotta work on my cardio. All right, let's see how these both turned out. And gotta go back up this hill again and get my other camera. I mean, gotta get the Sony Xperia PRO-I. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this video. You can see here that the sun is setting and I think the rain is coming soon. So let me go ahead, head back to my micro studio, put these files on my computer, and let's go over what I captured. See you there. So COVID took a nasty bite out of me last week and I'm still recovering. Please excuse me if I sound fatigued and sick right now. Let's go over what I thought about the images coming out of the Sony Xperia PRO-I and iPhone 13 Pro Max. For the iPhone, what stood out to me the most was how clear, bright, and detailed pictures and videos looked when using the 3 cameras. I can understand why its camera systems are praised year after year by so many people. The camera app is extremely simple to use and produces excellent results. It's easy to see every detail in a scene, but there's a catch. In order to edit the iPhone videos in DaVinci Resolve and have them work with the ones from the Xperia PRO-I, I have to convert them to Rec 709 color space and standard definition range. After doing this, most of the files came out overexposed and had to be color corrected. And because of that conversion, that's when they lost their wow factor. Now, when viewing the images and footage in this format, they looked extremely similar to something that would come out of a Sony Xperia 1 series or even the Sony Xperia PRO-I camera system. The only difference is they still retained those authentic colors, but they had better dynamic range, higher exposure, and a lot more sharpening and saturation applied. And I'm gonna say it again, a lot of sharpening, especially on the edges of subjects and other things in a scene. While I did mention earlier in the video, its 77mm zoom lens was significantly better than the Xperia PRO-I 50mm lens. Once I converted it to Rec 79 and SDR, it produced similar results, but with lots of sharpening applied. The images from the Xperia PRO-I looked softer, and I'm assuming because of minimal sharpening. Now, the iPhone uses HEIC format for their photo files, so I had to put them through Lightroom Classic to convert them into JPEGs so that you can see them in this video. The JPEGs look great and didn't lose their wow factor that I saw when viewing them on the display. They had more detail and saturated colors, but seemed to be sharpened up a lot, just like the videos. But I think most people would prefer the photos coming from the iPhone 13 Pro Max over the Sony Xperia PRO-I. The Sony Xperia PRO-I's videos and pictures were more authentic and accurate compared to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now they tended to look softer and not as sharp, detailed, or saturated like the ones coming from the iPhone. But the Xperia PRO-I's pictures and videos have a more traditional digital camera look, which others like myself prefer over heavily processed, hyper-realistic ones such as from the iPhone. The stabilization system is really good for both devices. I was using both handheld and going through some rough terrain, especially while recording videos. But video footage tended to be fairly stable and there wasn't any abrupt, jarring movements. Which device has the better stabilization? For myself, the iPhone appeared to be the most stable for the majority of the video scenes. Alright, let me go ahead and end this video with my thoughts on which device I felt had the best camera system. For the last portion of this video, let's check out how both of these devices' video performance is in low light, such as the one that's happening in my micro studio right now. It's about 8 p.m. at night and I just have a few lights going on inside here. So let's see who has better low light video performance. Right here is going to be the Sony Xperia PRO-I. It is in manual mode, so I know some of you were asking for a manual mode. Let's see how it compares against the iPhone 13 Pro Max's auto video mode. Now they are using their stock microphone, so you're going to be able to get a chance to hear how they both compare against each other outside of a windy environment. Who wins in this camera comparison? And the answer is nobody, because they both serve a different purpose for a certain type of audience. For the Sony Xperia PRO-I, it operates just like a traditional digital camera. There's very minimal processing going on. This device is for somebody who's going to take their time to go over their photos and videos and do some post-processing. The iPhone 13 Pro Max is probably the best for the majority of people who just want a simple, easy to use camera interface that produces great pictures and videos instantly. And then they're going to take those pictures and videos and post it instantly to their social media or social circle. Not everybody wants that much control from a device like the iPhone, and some prefer having a lot of control with their pictures and videos like the Sony Xperia PRO-I. Alright, having COVID is it sucks, and I'm really struggling to finish this ending. So I'm just gonna end it right now. I've been doing this take already 5 times, and it's getting very hot in here. The Sony Xperia PRO-I might shut down, so yeah, let me wrap this up. So post in the comments what you thought about this comparison between the iPhone 13 Pro Max and Sony Xperia PRO-I. Do you have any suggestions on further videos I should do between these two devices? Also, I should have mentioned this earlier, but the footage coming from both of these devices is the main wide camera. Post in the comments what you thought about the footage from both devices in this type of lighting and which one you think does better than the other. Please tap that like button if you like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so, and until next time, stay safe, keep learning. I'll see you in the next video.
I want to go up, but my abs are too weak.